Jody here, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be giving a spoiler-free review on the latest book that I've read. So in my spoiler-free reviews, I go over certain things, as always, such as what the book is about, if I've read from this author before or not, my thoughts on the book, my star rating, and if this is a book, I would recommend reading or not. So without any further ado, let's get on to today's spoiler-free book review, and that, my friends, would be Everything We Never Knew by Julianne Hough and Goodlett. So Everything We Never Knew is about Lexi. To the outside world, Lexi may appear as though she has it all together and is living a picture-perfect life. She has a great career, a beautiful home that she shares with her husband who absolutely loves and adores her, and the best friends in the world. Inside, though, Lexi is struggling to keep herself afloat every day. Instead of letting the others in her life know that she is hurting, Lexi keeps everything she is feeling to only herself, so as not to burden anyone else with her problems. Then on the night that Lexi be given an award for all of her accomplishments in her career, she sees something odd. As Lexi is giving her acceptance speech, she notices a man in the distance with what looks like fog around him. Lexi then starts to hear people screaming, but no one else around Lexi seems to hear what she is hearing. Later that night, as Lexi is making her way to her car to go home, she learns that the man that she saw earlier that night with fog around him died shortly after her acceptance speech. Lexi's not sure what to make of any of this. She is both confused and scared by what she saw during her acceptance speech and also by what happened afterwards. Lexi wants to know what is happening to her, but she isn't sure if pursuing it is worth the risk, because by doing so, she could potentially lose that picture-perfect life that she worked so hard to build for herself in the process. So this is the first book by both Julianne Hough, and yes, in case you're wondering, this is the same Julianne Hough that co-hosts Dancing with the Stars and Goodlett that I've read. And I would be open to reading from these authors again if they were to write another book together. So now for my thoughts on the book. To start off, I overall like this book, although there was one thing about this book, not that I didn't like, but that I thought could have been better. So first I'll talk about what I liked, and then what I thought could have been better. So one of the things that I liked was the writing. I thought the two authors did a really great job collaborating with each other on this book because it only ever felt that there was one voice telling Lexi's story. In the story, our main character Lexi goes on a deep and profound journey of discovering who she is. There was a lot of heart and emotion in every word throughout this book, and I thought the writing told Lexi's story quite beautifully. You couldn't help but become invested in the story as you were reading it, and a big reason for that was because of the writing. The writing is what really drew you into making you care about the story and the characters. Another thing that I liked was the spiritual healing aspect to the story. Like I said, Lexi, our main character, goes on a deep and profound journey of discovering who she is. Through her journey, Lexi discovers that she has the capability to heal others and can sense someone's energy and aura simply by being in their presence. I thought this part of the story was really intriguing. I've never read about this topic before in a book, and it's really interesting to read about the world of spirituality, a world that I knew nothing about prior to reading this book. The last thing that I liked was Lexi and Bee's relationship in the book. When Lexi first starts to question what she is experiencing, she's at a loss for what to do and who to turn to for help. Eventually, Lexi turns to someone named Bee for guidance. Bee is someone in Lexi's town who has a shop that centers all around the world of spirituality and healing. Lexi's friends and husband don't care much for Bee, thinking that she is out there and odd, but Lexi doesn't feel that way because Bee understands exactly what Lexi is going through and feeling and knows exactly how to help her. As Lexi's mentor, Bee can be tough and isn't afraid to speak her mind. Sometimes the things that she says to Lexi can be harsh or hard to hear in the moment, but there's always a layer of understanding and kindness behind every word that Bee says, and Lexi can sense that. It was really nice to see Lexi have someone in her corner throughout this time in the story who was truly there for her, someone understanding and patient, and someone who knew exactly how to guide her through what she was going through to help her get to the other side. So now for what I thought could have been better about the book. And that was, when it came to the characters in the story, I thought they were written okay. The characters, I wouldn't say were written in a one-dimensional way because they definitely weren't. The characters have personality, and you got to know who the characters were and what they've been through. At the same time, though, the characters never felt three-dimensional with the exception of our main character, Lexi. When reading the book, you felt as though you were only getting to know the characters on a surface level of getting to know them kind of way. So those are my thoughts on the book. Now for my star rating. Despite feeling that the characters could have been written a little better, I overall like this book. The book itself, on the other hand, I thought was very well written. I also thought the story was very well done and was a story that really grabbed your attention throughout the whole entire book. So, with all that being said, my star rating for Everything We Never Knew was 4.5 stars. Now for Is This a Book I Would Recommend Reading? This was a heavy book at times to read because of some of the things that get brought up within the story. At the same time, this was also a book that had such optimism and hope in it about how change is possible and about how things can improve and get better. So I would say if you're looking for a literary fiction book to read that also has some magical realism in it, I would recommend Everything We Never Knew. So yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so very much for watching. I hope I helped you discover a new book today along the way as well. And until next time, bye.